General Jack Keane, my pleasure, sir. It's great to be with you. We appreciate your insights all year long, and here we are on the cusp of a new year and a second Trump administration. I have to say, President Trump had this kind of a romance going with Kim Jong Un for a while, the first U.S. president to step into North Korea. They talked about the love letters and their relationship, and, is the romance over already before it's yet to begin again?
Well, it ended in 2019 when President Trump walked out of the negotiations that were taking place in Hanoi. And then it was as a result of those negotiations that the Trump administration realized that President Jong Un was all talk. He was not going to walk away from his nuclear program. And as a result of that, we pretty much broke off any thought that some nuclear deal was going to be made. Yeah, I mean, when President Trump took power, Jun was testing, if you recall, ballistic short-range missiles, some long-range missiles, and then developed, as you indicated, a very conciliatory tone. This time he has a confrontational tone. I think he recognizes that he's competing with a war in Ukraine, a war in the Middle East, and China's aggression in the Pacific. He's competing for attention, and likely that's what he's trying to get here. And what is he really after? He wants to be accepted as a nuclear power, as the other nuclear powers in the world are accepted by the international community. And then he wants normal trade relations and removal of the sanctions, even though he gets around the UN sanctions because Russia and China help him out in terms of backdooring those sanctions. He really wants normal economic relations. That's what he is attempting to achieve in the face of what? In the face of two aggressive South Korean administrations that have really increased their military capability and worked much stronger with the United States in terms of an exercise program, and also in the face of regional confrontation with Japan, South Korea, and the United States coming together in an historic relationship, particularly bringing South Korea and Japan together.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons for that is certainly China, but the other reason is North Korea. So that's what he's facing out there. He's facing more confrontation, more isolation, and he's trying to change the table here in terms of relationships with the United States.
Yeah, this tone he's taking also, he's North Korea aligning themselves with Russia, helping out with the war in Ukraine. Is this a major concern?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the reality of it doesn't get the play it should get. North Korea has come in and declared war against Ukraine on the side of Russia, much as Italy did on the side of Germany during World War II. So we have two powers aligned together to defeat Ukraine, an independent country. And that is that is the most significant escalation of the war, not a weapon system, another country fighting side by side with Russia. And not only that, but they provide them with significant ballistic missiles, significant artillery ammunition, and artillery weapons themselves. So they are a major aid to Russia in its attempt to try to defeat Ukraine. And that relationship is going to continue.
Yeah, and concerns about the reciprocal nature potentially down the road of enhancing North Korea's abilities as well. General Jack Keane, thank you so much. Always appreciate your analysis, and Happy New Year to you.
Hey, guys. Welcome to America for a Hot Take. I'm John. This is Mike.
What's going on, guys?
Just going to talk about some of this news that's going on. You always got to be worried about China, Russia, and Afghanistan, Iran, I guess, whatever you call them over there, teaming up against us. That is something definitely to worry about, especially after the last 4 years of showing about as weak of a front as America probably has ever shown worldwide. So it's definitely something to worry about. What do you think?
Well, I agree. We have a lot to worry about, and I feel like it sounds like the West is starting to fight against communism. Not as much as we have in the past, but it seems like the communist countries are starting to come together as one because they're tired of the rhetoric. So that's where North Korea is coming in right now. Kim Jong Un is tired of all the talk, anti-communist talk that's going on by the West and the rest of the world. So they're teaming up with Russia and China and all the other communist countries that they can team up with. So although North Korea has never been really a threat to us. It's something that we always wanted to look out for. It is definitely something that we need to keep on the radar. You know, he's a little crazy. I don't believe that he's really running things. I think his sister has a lot to do with it. But you know, it's definitely something to look into. They do have nuclear weapons. They have about 50 nuclear warheads. They've been doing some successful ICBM tests, so we can't just take it lightly. And I think everybody's making moves before January 20th. So my hot take is, are we going to make it to January 20th?
Yeah, that is the thing, because I mean, there is that thing where they know, like we know, like when it comes to nuclear warfare, there is no winner. You know, as soon as the first one gets sent, they've shown many times on computers what that looks like. One gets shot in the air, and then 10 more come, then 10 more then come, and then that's the end of humanity. So that is a big button to push. But I would say this is probably getting closer than we ever had to have anyone even think about pushing that button.
Yeah, it really is getting closer, and the buildup across the world between the different countries that are teaming up is a little scary. Scary to think about. You know?
I mean, Putin sending that. I didn't have the nuclear warhead on it, but he sent that. I forget what type of missile it was, just to show
the Oceanic.
Yeah, just to show this is what could happen to you, and God forbid that would have had something with nuclear power. Then that's the end for hundreds of thousands of years over there. It's just devastating.
Yeah, not to mention that the technology that we have on nuclear weapons are a lot. It's a lot greater than it was when we dropped Hiroshima.
Oh yeah.
So you know the devastation is going to be much more greater than it ever was back then, and that's scary in itself, because that's pretty devastating.
Yeah.
You know?
I think they have said Putin has missiles that can reach like over in Europe within 20 minutes, like
right.
Fast.
Right, and I think that's pause for concern, because you know January 20th is quickly approaching.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a lot of people in our country who don't want to see our president elect be inaugurated. You know, you do have a whole other half that didn't vote for him.
Correct.
So, you know, they're going to be planning some shenanigans. We already heard about, you know, what Congress wants to do, you know, a 2/3 vote against, you know, Trump getting elected in. I don't think they have enough to stop that from happening. The Mike Johnson thing might be an issue if he doesn't get put through. And I've heard a lot of Republicans are kind of against that going on. So.
Yeah, he has 4 people, like, because I think it's 219 and 215, so that's 4. So that means if 4 idiot Republicans slow that down, then that stops the process. Trump cannot get elected. And that first 100 days is where Trump's going to do most of his change. And what's crazy is he got 80 million votes. I mean, he is clearly America's popular vote. And these elites are trying to keep the people from getting what the people voted for. It's mind-blowing to me. And we pay for their salaries. We're paying these guys to try to stop from what we voted for.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So it's basically is telling you that there's a bigger cabal going on. They want this globalist world.
There's money in it for them.
Yeah, there's money in it. It's a lot more control. And I can see how, you know, everything is in place for them. You know, the internet brings us all together. You know, it's a perfect time to create a digital currency that would be used as one currency around the world. So I can see their plans kind of unfolding a little bit, and we're just at that point in time right now where we've got to look out for so many things. We've got our own internal problems within our own country that we have to deal with, the fighting between parties and the wokeness and, you know, the far left and, you know, all that kind of stuff is going on internally here in the United States, including our own drone problems, situations that are going on across the country. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of the videos that we've done on the drones, and we got some more coming out this week to follow up on those. But now you got other countries making their moves, starting to up their rhetoric a little bit. To me, what Jong Un is doing, he doesn't really deserve to be said correctly, but what he's doing is kind of the art of the deal.
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. I think he's taking a book from Trump.
Yeah.
I think he's going over and above what he really wants so that he can get what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
So he's talking all this junk right now because he's trying to escalate it because he doesn't want to get rid of those nuclear weapons. Trump doesn't want him to have those nuclear weapons, and I think that's where it boils down to. Maybe he's talking this rhetoric and escalating all this because he knows that Trump is going to try to get rid of all 50. So maybe he's trying to keep 25 or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And these neocons, I mean, if there's no wars, there's no money for these people too.
Oh.
So they want these forever wars. They want this conflict. They want this division because they know. Because here's the thing: like this Democrat and far left plan has been in operation for probably a decade or more, and it almost worked. Trump was the only person that stopped it. I mean, if Trump hadn't won in 2016, we probably would have digital currency. We would have all of this control. I mean, they had already built the government around us, and they were ready to just clamp down. And Trump won in 2016 and kind of blew that up a little bit. Then he lost. They tried again, and had he not won again. So, yeah, they're mad. On the other side, they're like, we were almost there, and now we can't get to where we need to go. So that's why they're trying to keep this guy out of office. Not because they're scared of his policy. They're scared because he's going to take those folders and open them up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's not the policies. We know what it is. It's
you want JFK? Here you go.
It's all
you
the
want
secrets.
Epstein? Here you go. Yep.
It's all the secrets that they've been keeping for decades and decades and decades. And Trump is this close to exposing all that.
Yep.
So, again, will we make it to October or January 20th before anything happens? I know that there's, all sorts of things going on. So
maybe we should start a GoFundMe for some mercenaries to be surrounding Trump. I got 5 on it.
Put me down for 5. Glenn Beck, we really need you.
Yeah.
You got all the connections and all the money. So,
yeah. Tell us about this North Korea trading soldiers.
So yeah, this is just another check mark on all the crap that's going on in the world. If North Korea is trading soldiers for Russian fighter jets, according to Newsweek.
Wow.
Russia will provide North Korea with fighter jets in exchange for the thousands of troops Pyongyang has reportedly sent to support Moscow's war against the Ukraine. The head of the United States Pacific Forces said. Admiral Samuel Papero, commander of the Indo-Pacific Command, told reporters that Kim Jong Un's regime is set to receive MiG-29s and Su-27 aircraft, Soviet-era fighters introduced 4 decades ago, according to Aviation Week Network. So, that's a little odd. Now, we have heard reports that there are North Korean fighters fighting in Ukraine. We've been hearing that for a couple months now. Now, from what I heard a couple months ago, is a lot of those North Korean soldiers were defecting once they got over to the Ukraine, and they were just defecting and using that as an opportunity to defect from North Korea and not even fight at all. So I'm kind of wondering how many of these soldiers that they're sending over there are actually fighting, because if it were me and I were a soldier in North Korea and I had an opportunity to better my life, I'm probably not going to be over there fighting. I'll probably just, defect over to Ukraine and try to get to the United States somehow. Disappear.
Yeah, and and this goes back to this, like, look at all this conflict that's going on. Like, when Trump left in 2020, and everybody knows I'm the biggest Trump fan in America, hands down, but, well, yeah. There was none of this. There was peace. He was shaking little Rocket Man's hands in North Korea. He stepped into North Korea where no other president's been able to do that. He had peace in the Middle East. He had all these treaties going around. The economy was booming. At jobs, everything was going well. And in 4 years, they just wiped all that away. And now look at us. Like, there's so many one wrong moves, and we could be in World War III's going on all over the globe right now.
Yep.
It's it's a mess. It's just crazy.
It's really crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave us some remarks in the comments section. Let us know what you think. Do you think that North Korea soldiers are actually going to be over there fighting? Would you stay or would you fight for a country that's not even your country, not even your fight? You were sent over there because you're getting traded for planes, essentially. I mean, that really speaks of your value as a human being. So, that's a little weird. So
yeah, and put a MAGA in the comments if you think Trump will be able to get this under control in the first 2 years.
All right, here we go. Some more North Korea. North Korea's Kim vows the toughest anti-policy before Trump takes office. Let's see. North Korean leader Kim Jong Un vowed to implement the toughest anti-U.S. policy, state media reported Sunday, less than a month before Donald Trump takes office as U.S. president. Trump's return to the White House raises prospects for high-profile diplomacy with North Korea. During his first term, Trump met Kim 3 times for talks on the North Korea's nuclear program. Many experts, however, say a quick resumption of Kim Jong-un's symmetry is unlikely, as Trump would first focus on conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East. North Korea's support for Russia's war against Ukraine also poses a challenge to efforts to revive diplomacy, experts say. So again, it's just more stacking. They're just stacking more things to make it more difficult for Trump if they can't get him, if they can't prevent him from getting in on January 20th, and he does get in. They're trying to stack as many problems as possible,
of course,
to make it almost impossible for him to do what he needs to do. Fortunately, we have a president. Donald Trump is him.
He is him.
He is him.
He's got a bunch of hims around him too.
And
he's got the best of the best.
Elon Musk is him.
Vivek is him.
Yeah, we got a lot of hims up in a couple of hers too.
Yep.
Got a couple of hers. No, you know what we don't have? They or them.
No, we don't
have any of theys or any of thems. Just hers and hims.
Yep. They said the Democrats are for they and them, and Trump is for you.
More reports from Newsweek. North Korea gets tough on U.S. warnings and warning to Trump. It's just escalating the rhetoric because he wants to negotiate with Trump. So you ask for more than what you know you're going to get. And in this instance, he's just escalating the rhetoric, knowing that he's never going to do some of the things that he's talking about. And he might have a chance to keep 1 or 2 of these nukes as opposed to getting rid of them all.
And I just don't, like with China, we understand where the conflict could be because if we put a bunch of tariffs on, there's so much stuff that gets bought from Americans that's made in China. I can understand there's a huge nominal value there. But there's nothing America made by North Korea. Like South Korea, sure, but North Korea. So I don't understand why he's poking his chest out. It's like, what do we really want from North Korea, or what does he want from us other than to have status? Like, I have as powerful of a nuclear,
Right. Well, he has accomplished becoming a nuclear power.
Oh yeah,
he's
absolutely.
As we can see the chart right here, nuclear warhead inventory shows the blue shows the retired nuclear warheads, the yellow shows what's stored warheads, and the red shows what's deployable warheads currently. So you can see that Russia has what's that? 1,700
more in total.
They have more in total than we do. We both have 1,710 of them ready to go. It looks like, 1,710 ready to go. Deployable ones ready to go right now. But you can see over here, North Korea is on the map. They've got 50 of them.
That's enough to destroy a lot of stuff.
All you need is one.
That's it.
All you need is one.
That's it.
I was surprised to see the France. France has got 290 of them deployable right now, ready to go.
I would think because they're an ally of ours, right?
Yeah, they definitely are an ally.
So I would imagine that's probably some of ours just set over there.
Yeah, and then China's only got 500, which is, again, it only takes one.
Yep.
They do have the technology that they seem to be sharing with North Korea, because we noticed that North Korea has been having some more successful ICBM launches. So they apparently are getting some technological boost from China. To me, it's just, again, proxy. North Korea is China and Russia's proxy. They want to poke the bear. China doesn't want to poke the bear in that way, so they'll let their proxies do it.
I can't believe India has 172. They're like never in conflict.
No, they're not. And I don't think I'd ever want to get in conflict with
No,
them
of course
either.
not. No, they seem to be very peaceful people.
Peaceful people, and they've got about 2 billion people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got more than China, so yeah, they got a lot of people in the world. They could do a lot of damage if they wanted to do it. But they are peaceful people.
Yeah.
We need to take some lessons from them.
I think everybody just needs to take a bunch of Valium. Like, we need to just calm down and just everybody go out and find ways to make money, shake hands, figure this out. Like, China, let's work. We're willing to work with you. I'm sure Trump's always down to make a deal. Let's all come to the table. Let's figure it out. You got to get the old dementia dude out of there. And 45% of his term was on vacation, and the other 55%, he didn't know his name. So we had 4 years of a mess, but like, we're coming back. America's coming back strong. I think we just need to all sit down. We need to figure this out. I guarantee it's probably already going on. Trump already has these contacts. He's already made contact with them in 2016 through 2020. So I'm sure the phone calls are being made. He just can't put that out there yet because he has no real political capital. He only has his Trump.
This is nothing more than the legacy media trying to,
of course,
fuel the flames and make us more afraid of what's to come. And that, I'm not afraid of Trump coming into office because I know that he'll be able to squash, 80% of what's going on out there. He'll be able to squash it probably within the first 48 hours of his presidency. So, I'm not worried about that part. My only worry is we make it there cleanly by January 20th with no conflicts, no anything that's going to distract that from happening. If we end up in a war, that very well could be what could delay his inauguration as president. So, that's my hot take.
And those Rhino Republicans, you need to just vote in Mike. I don't like Mike Johnson either. I think he's over there quick to take selfies with Trump on Trump Force One and on the plane with him, and then he backstabs him with that crazy omnibus bill with all that pork and stuff in there. I can't stand the guy either, but you cannot stop Trump from getting in. So just vote him in. Let's figure that out later.
Yes, let's vote him in, and then we can get rid of Mike Johnson afterwards.
Because that's one thing about Democrats that I respect is that dude Biden was a dementia patient. Everybody knew it, but when it was time to come vote, they're all in line, ready to go. Republicans, get in line. You're only there right now because of Trump. That's it. We only have the majority and everything because of Trump. And we're really going to find this out in 2028 once there is no more Trump to see how popular the Republicans really are, or was it just Trump?
This is your last chance.
You got 4 years to figure that out. You got 4 years to turn into America first as a whole, or else the Democrats are just going to take it back in 2028 because Trump won't be able to cover you this time.
Keep doing what you've been doing for the past few decades, Republicans.
Yeah.
And 2028, you won't have a country to be a congressman or a senator of. So it's time for you guys to pull up your pants, your big boy pants, because we voted you in there. So pull your big boy pants up, get in there and do the work that needs to be done. You got 4 years. This is your last shot. This is it. This is it.
And on the positive side of that, Trump's legacy isn't Trump being a two-time president. Trump's legacy is creating America first and setting up J.D. Vance-Vivek to just take the easy win in 2028. But that's only if you follow his guidelines. Just follow Trump, and the door opens.
Right. We can fix
Fight
this.
him, Democrats will take over again.
We can fix this.
Yep.
We can get back to the way it used to be.
Yep.
But
this is our Reagan.
This is it.
This is our Reagan.
Right here.
This is Ronald Reagan. This is going to be the big revolution where he's going to bring more money back to the American people. He's going to stop these wars. He's going to figure all this stuff out. But these Republicans got to get on their side. Now, I'm going to say you're going to do it. I'm going to look positive because 2025 is going to be a great year, but don't make me look bad.
Absolutely. Get in there and get some work done, guys. We got a couple more weeks before President-elect Trump will be inaugurated. Everybody keep your eyes open. Make sure that nothing pops off before then, and make sure that this transition goes smoothly. And, let's hope for the best. Let's put some good vibes out there and hope for the best.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please drop a like and subscribe for us. We really need your help. We're trying to get this channel off the ground, and we just love bringing content to you and just like watching all the Patriots and stuff start to, key in and hang out with us. So we appreciate you and look forward to talking to you again.
Absolutely. Until next time, peace.